now a little bit about Sanatan economics? Because I know you have a book coming out, but it sounds so fascinating that if you could just give us a bit of a preview, that would be really wonderful.
Yeah. So the difference between, what I would say is, capitalism, Adam Smith capitalism has managed to give us 60% divorce rates. And Karl Marx communism has managed to give us 60% slave population with state control. So, which is exactly why, and why this has happened is because both of them forgot to mention the word family in their economic theories. Now, a kid can tell you that every economic decision is a family decision. It has the first impact, the ripple effect of any economic decision is going to come to the family members. So, what I say capitalism and communism is actually exporting the sacrifices among the family members outside of the family, which is why it becomes brutal to anyone who comes to be the victim of both these theories, because it goes outside the family members, which is why capitalism and communism becomes brutal for whoever comes to be the victim. When we talk about social welfare,
Mm-hmm.
we have this dharmic concept of what we call as atithi, right? Atithi is someone, who can enter your house without giving you a tithi. He's not going to give you a date and time. His stomach is empty, you are going to give him food. So such a country, such a society, a dharmic society where there is a dharmic cap on your behavior, you do not require a socialist welfare from the
Mm-hmm.
state, where the community is so empowered in a fashion, right? Similarly, you see our festivals. Now, Dhanteras is the only festival, this is the only civilization in the world which celebrates ethical profits as a community festival. So when we use those words Shubh Labh on the day of Dhanteras, what we mean is that only ethical profits is allowed to enter my home. Similarly, if you look at the accounting books where we write Shri Sava on the
Mm-hmm.
top, Shri Sava means that I'll take only 25% of cost as profit. I will not take more money than this from anyone. So this is the kind of a top-down control of dharma on profits,
Mm-hmm.
on exploitation of the society. So this is the kind of a Sanatan economics model that we need to come about. The modern extreme capitalism can be curbed in this fashion, whereas in the West you see that they will inject you with enzymes just to make profits. So it's like a guinea pig society.
That's
So
true. You talk about destruction of family. I mean, it's continuing even now with all the work culture and the kind of things we see happening in schools. And I don't know to what extent that's happening in India as well. I'm sure there are some attempts to break down the barriers to this kind of society, which is the family, probably taking place in India as well, but hopefully with not much success.
not no, it has started in the urban
Mm-hmm.
areas, but I think we are at a critical juncture with the fiat currency fall, because it started with the fiat
Right.
currency, so it will stop with that. So it's because of that fiat reserve currency the socialist freebies was possible in the West, endless printing of euro and dollar, that you are getting this socialist benefits where the state takes the role of husband, sometimes of a father, sometimes of a brother, sometimes of the son. So the kids are told that you can leave your parents, the state will take care of the Medicaid, right? So the state interfered in the family relations because of this endless printing of the fiat currency.
Hmm.
So once this fiat reserve currency falls, automatically you will find adults starts to live with their parents. You will see that moment as soon as the crisis hits, you know, and the high interest regime picks up. You will find the Western families, gathering together, because they will eventually come down to the same Sanatan economics model where you have to take care of the parents, aged
Hmm.
parents, and right,
So,
both the generations and the life cycles. because I see this all comes from this Abrahamic economics format of one life. So if the main difference between the East and the West is, the East is saying uh, that I am the soul and body is just a vehicle. The West is saying I am the body, soul is just a vehicle. So if you are a body, then this is the only life you got. And if this is the only life you got, then you want to consume and spend everything and take over resources and clash around for those resources. Right? So this is not the wisdom which the Indian subcontinent and the dharmas have, which is exactly why you see that the Western economies are always involved in wars and conflicts, because they are looking at finite resources as wealth. Whereas in Sanatan economics, nothing finite is wealth. Those with the life cycle is the only wealth that you have, right? So, which is why you don't see the concept of savings in the West. They do not believe in savings because they do not believe in life cycles. This is the only life they have. They want to spend it and enjoy. In the Indian context, it's totally the opposite. Even if there are artificial benefits given to spend, people will still not spend, because this Sanatan life cycle wisdom is going to continue. It's a civilizational wisdom,
Amazing.
right?
It's really amazing. So where can people find out more about your book, and when is it coming out? Where is it going to be? How do people get it?
So, the first book, which covers this geopolitics entirely, where you have the chapter Dollar of War and the Good Old Gold, which covers some portion of what we discussed today. That will be launched next month in Delhi.
Okay.
The second one, which is the Bharat model, which covers Sanatan economics exclusively, that will be along with the G20 summit, parallel to the main G20 summit, a bit before that. So that's what.
Okay.
But the fundamental difference we have to understand between why the US and the Chinese and the Russian and all the other economies are destroyed, because they believe in one life. The biggest mistake they did was they used women as a unit of labor for temporary GDP during their fertile years. You imagine the kind of suicide these economies have done. Right now, all these countries are aging. They don't have the birth rates. They actually going to live only one life. They took it literally from the Abrahamic values. So they used women as a unit of labor for temporary shoring up of GDP, and now they are aging, and now they are wondering. They have imported radicals from the Middle East to fill in the gap of the manpower supply, because their own birth rates are gone. You imagine the chaos they are in because of this Abrahamic value of one life, which is why Sanatan economics model has to come up, where we have to make people understand that women cannot be used as a unit of labor for temporary GDP. She is destined for a greater job, for the civilization, for the family, for the carrying forward of the Sanatan values, for economics till eternity, right? Not for temporary GDP. You have men for temporary GDP, right? Okay, so during the fertile years specifically, the woman cannot be used as a unit of labor.
Please remember to subscribe to us and switch on the notifications for this channel. For our other social media links, more content, and to support our work, please visit citti.net. Dhanyavad. Namaskar.